What if I told you that a part of your body that you've lived with your whole life might quietly start to shrink as you get older? It's not just a scary thought. For some men, it's a reality. But before you panic, let's uncover what's really going on and whether age truly affects penis size the way people say it does. Most men never think about it until one day, in the mirror or during intimacy, something feels different. It's a subtle change, almost invisible to others, but to the man himself, it can feel like a big deal. The fear isn't just about numbers on a ruler. It's about what it means for identity, confidence, and masculinity. Size, whether we like it or not, has always been wrapped in cultural myths and personal insecurities. And when we hear whispers about shrinkage with age, curiosity turns into concern. But here's the thing. Science has a lot to say about this, and the truth is both surprising and reassuring. The human body changes in countless ways as we grow older, and the penis is no exception. Inside, it's a fascinating structure made of spongy tissue that fills with blood during arousal, held together by elastic fibers that keep it firm and shaped. Think of it like a balloon inside a flexible net. When you're young, that net is tight and springy. But over decades, just like the skin on your face or the muscles in your arms, the tissues can lose some of their elasticity. That doesn't mean you wake up one morning with a drastic change. It's slow, almost sneaky. Research shows that men may lose a small amount of length over time, maybe a centimeter or so over decades. That's it. But why does this happen at all? A big part of it is blood flow. As we age, our cardiovascular system isn't as efficient, meaning less blood reaches certain areas as quickly or fully as it used to. Less blood flow during erections means the tissues don't expand quite as much as before. Combine that with a gradual decline in testosterone, about 1% per year after your early 30s, and you have a recipe for subtle changes in size and firmness. Of course, there are other culprits too. Weight gain is a sneaky one. Over the years, extra fat tends to collect in the lower belly, creating what's called a fat pad above the penis. This can make it look shorter even when it's the same length as before. Then there are conditions like Peyronie's disease, where scar tissue builds up inside, sometimes bending the penis and reducing its visible length. Even lifestyle choices like smoking, poor diet, or lack of exercise can speed up these effects by damaging blood vessels and reducing circulation. But here's the part most men don't realize. Not all shrinkage is permanent. In fact, in many cases, improving your health can restore much, if not all, of what was lost. Take Mark, for example. In his late 40s, he noticed a difference. Measurements were slightly smaller than years before, and he felt less confident in the bedroom. A checkup revealed low testosterone and borderline heart issues. With a better diet, regular workouts, and treatment for his hormone levels, he noticed stronger erections and a return to his previous size. His story isn't unique. Doctors see it all the time. Still, the psychological side can't be ignored. Even a tiny change can feel massive in a man's mind. That self-consciousness can lead to anxiety, which in turn can affect performance, creating a vicious cycle. It's why knowing the truth matters so much, because once you understand the causes, you can take control instead of letting fear control you. And that's where things get interesting, because the steps to protect size are the same steps that protect overall health. It's about habits, daily choices, and sometimes a little medical help. And once you start making those changes begin to show not just in measurements, but in energy, mood, and confidence. When blood flow improves, when testosterone levels are supported, when the body fat around the midsection starts to melt away, something remarkable happens. The penis responds just like any other part of the body that's been given a healthier environment. The tissues fill more completely, erections look and feel stronger, and the visual difference can be enough to restore a man's self-image. But here's where most men get it wrong. They think this is purely about fixing something in the bedroom. In reality, it's about a much bigger picture. The penis is like a health indicator light for the rest of the body. If you start noticing changes here, it's often a sign of changes happening everywhere. Your heart, your blood vessels, your hormones, even your brain. Treating the root causes can protect more than just size. It can protect your life. Still, the question remains, What exactly can you do to slow or even reverse the process? The first step is movement. Regular exercise, especially cardio, keeps blood vessels flexible and open, delivering more oxygen-rich blood to every part of the body. The second is diet. Not a crash diet, but a lifestyle built around whole, unprocessed foods that fight inflammation and keep your weight in check. The third is cutting out habits that strangle blood flow, like smoking or heavy drinking. Then there's the role of targeted exercises, often called pelvic floor training or Kegels. These strengthen the muscles at the base of the penis, improving erection quality. Men who practice these regularly often report that they feel firmer and, in some cases, appear fuller. This is because those muscles control how much blood stays trapped during arousal. Some men turn to medical treatments like testosterone replacement therapy, shockwave therapy, or vacuum devices that encourage blood flow. These aren't magic fixes. They work best when combined with the lifestyle changes we just talked about. And in some cases, doctors may recommend addressing specific conditions like Peyronie's disease through surgery or specialized medications to restore lost length. Of course, not all changes are physical. The mind plays a huge role. Stress, anxiety, and overthinking can cause performance issues that mimic the feeling of shrinkage. Learning to manage stress through meditation, breathing exercises, or even therapy can bring back confidence and help break that destructive mental loop. What's fascinating is how many men, after making these changes, discover that their concerns were never as bad as they feared. Some even realize that they've been focusing so much on size that they've forgotten the bigger truth. Intimacy is about connection, not measurements. But the reality is, knowing you've done everything possible to maintain your body has its own power. And that's where we start to see the other side of the story, the myths, the scare tactics, and the half-truths that make men worry more than they should. Because when you hear certain things repeated enough times, they start to sound like facts, even when the science says otherwise. And once you understand what's true and what's not, you begin to see that not everything you've heard about size and aging is actually true. One of the biggest myths is that shrinkage happens suddenly, as if you'll wake up one morning and notice a dramatic difference. In reality, the process is incredibly gradual, and for many men, it's so small that no one else would ever notice. Another myth is that nothing can be done about it, that it's just part of getting older. As we've already seen, that's far from the truth. Lifestyle changes, medical care, and consistent attention to your health can make a significant difference, sometimes even restoring what you thought was gone for good. Then there's the belief that size and performance are the same thing, that a small change in measurement automatically means a loss in function. This isn't true either. Many men with slight reductions in size have perfectly healthy, satisfying sex lives well into their later years. The key difference isn't the number on a ruler. It's the quality of blood flow, the elasticity of the tissue, and the confidence you bring into the bedroom. There's also an illusion factor at play. Extra weight around the abdomen, changes in posture, and even lighting can affect how you perceive yourself. Some men who believe they've lost size find that after losing just a few inches off their waist, they appear larger again without any actual change in anatomy. This shows that sometimes the problem is less about biology and more about perspective. Of course, knowing the science is only half the battle. The real power comes from acting on it. Start treating your health as an investment, not an afterthought. Keep your cardiovascular system strong, your hormone levels balanced, your body fat in check, and your mind free from unnecessary stress. In doing so, you won't just protect one part of your body. You'll improve your life in every way that matters. Because here's the truth. Aging is inevitable, but decline is not. You have more control than you think, and every decision you make today shapes what your body will look and feel like tomorrow. If you start now, you'll thank yourself years down the line, not just for the physical benefits, but for the confidence and peace of mind that comes with knowing you've done your best. So, the next time you hear someone say that penis size inevitably shrinks with age, you can tell them the truth. Yes, small changes can happen, but they're not always permanent, and you have the power to influence the outcome. Don't let myths scare you into silence. Talk about it, learn about it, and take action. And if you found this information valuable, then you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and share it with someone who needs to hear the truth. Drop a comment below telling us your thoughts or questions, because the more we talk about these things openly, the more we break down the stigma. Your health is your responsibility, and it starts now.